Hey, this is Johnny Mendez with Buck & Associates Real Estate. I'm a realtor licensed here in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. And today I'm going to talk to you about the one thing that you actually need to do before you buy a home. Now, plenty of people place, whatever constraint they want on themselves to not buy a house. They say, oh, I need to be married first, or oh, I want to be this age before I do it, or I want to do this before I buy a house. But really the only thing that you need to do before you buy a house is get pre-approved from a lender. Now, I'll tell you why it's so important to get that pre-approval letter even before you start thinking about it seriously. The reason is because that's really what's going to be like the end-all be-all. It's going to tell you in black and white, hey, you can afford this much. This is how much we're willing to lend you. And there's nothing worse than getting started looking for a house. You go on Zillow, or you start working with an agent. You're so excited to get a house. You're finally ready to do it, and then you start looking around, only to find out that you can only afford half of what you're looking at, or half of what you thought you could. So that's really the first thing that you should do before you even think about being serious about buying a house. And it's not something crazy. It's not something that's gonna drop your credit score like crazy, or it's not something that's it doesn't require a whole bunch of effort. It's something that can happen, within 24 hours. You can get pre-approved by a good lender within 24 hours. They're just going to look at your financial situation, how much you make, how much your debts are, and then they're going to make a calculation based on the type of loan you're getting. And the calculation that they're making is they're going to figure out what your debt to income ratio is. And now basically what that is they don't want your total debts and your monthly payments for your debts to equal more than a certain percentage of your income. And it varies for different types of loans, right? So it could be 35% or 40%. Certain lenders are different. But for example, if you want, one type of loan, right? They may have a requirement that says you are not allowed to have more than 40% of your monthly income in debt payments per month, which is a reasonable thing, right? If you got, if you're spending all your money, you can't afford a house, quite frankly. If you don't have enough money to eat and pay off your other debts, you can't afford a house. So it's a safeguard that is in place now that actually wasn't really so much in place the last financial crisis, which actually made it so bad, really. I mean, it's because everyone was defaulting, at once, which just, tanked the market. But now these safeguards are in place now, and they're a lot stricter with who they decide to loan money to. Without checking and verifying all this stuff, it's really dangerous and irresponsible, actually, to lend you such a huge amount of money. So that's really what the lender's doing when they're getting you that pre-approval letter. They're looking at how much you're making, how much your debts are, and they're really just figuring out if you can, take on an additional, few $1,000s a month for a mortgage. So this is really the first thing that you should do before you, step foot in the car to go look at a place. Me, quite frankly, and really any real estate agent that actually respects their time and values their service will not even show you a house without a pre-approval letter. And the reason being is because if you find the perfect house, you love the house so much, it's the best house you've ever seen, and you want to write an offer on it right away today, chances are other people feel the same way about the property you just saw. So there's probably some sort of competition. And the problem is, since you don't have your pre-approval letter, you didn't take my advice and get it before you went and looked at a house, well, now you actually have to get pre-approved. You have to go through that whole process, and it takes up valuable time. Well, first of all, I would never submit an offer without a pre-approval letter, because it's not worth anything. Because if you don't have something saying that you can actually get the loan for the property, then it's just like writing on a napkin and saying, here, I want to buy your house. It really means nothing. So you really have to get that pre-approval letter before you even go. So yeah, just take that as it may be. Like I said, pre-approval, extremely important, extremely important. I won't even show somebody a house if they're not pre-approved. I don't want to waste their time or my time. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you want me to cover a topic, I'm always glad to. I'm trying to keep the consistency up on these videos. I do enjoy making them, but they're a lot of work. I got to sit down and edit them for like almost a whole morning or a whole afternoon. Not to mention take the time to shoot them. So if you did enjoy it, please leave a like, maybe even a comment. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Take care.